Hello, everyone. Simon Foster here. A wonderful new family comedy called Grow is in Australian cinemas from January 15, already charming audiences in the US and UK. It's the story of a very spirited young girl with a magical knack for feeling what plants feel, and how she finds a sense of family in a small town filled with big pumpkins. It's the latest from director John McPhail, who joins us from his home in, I want to say, Scotland.
That's perfect, Simon. Scotland, slap bang in the middle, Glasgow.
Wonderful. Thanks for joining us, mate, and congratulations on this wonderful film.
Oh no, thanks very much, man. No, I'm really delighted with it. I'm really happy. Like from the moment I pitched for it, like all I'd been thinking about was like the audience. So I just wanted to get like make a proper family film, something for kids, something for adults, something for to have that proper shared experience where you're just laughing together and enjoying a fun ride.
Well, it's interesting because you're coming off, and I mentioned to you before we started recording that Anna and the Apocalypse is one of my favorite things ever, and the horror pick Dear David's, and so the sweetness of Grow, it represents a bit of a pivot for you. What were the elements that appealed most about it? What story did you want to tell?
And what I love, I'm a proper sweetheart. Like I started out making like romantic comedies. That's kind of my first short film was a romantic comedy. Like my first feature was a romantic comedy. Like and Anna and the Apocalypse still has this sort of like darkness, but it's got like this sort of like there's a bit of heart that's running through it, and that's usually what I always go for is something with heart.
Hmm.
And like Grow was just full of that. I loved that kind of like that unconventional mother-daughter story between Charlie and Dinah, and just that like I love finding something like that which audiences are going to completely relate to, and it means that all the other characters just get to be fireworks popping off all around it, and like we grow, like it was just joyous, and I
Hmm.
love I love blending genres. I love playing in as I say, like in spaces for audience, because that's all I really care about is audience, and like as I was saying, I just that idea of just having kids and families, like
Hmm.
kids and parents, kids and grandparents together, just it reminds me of like being wrapped around the TV with my parents, watching like movies growing up. Like,
And
so
it
yeah,
does
that's
feel like that sort of sweet sort of community type of film that'll bring all ages together, and that's a huge bonus this day and age. There's an old saying that if you get the casting right, then half your job is done as a director, and you absolutely capture lightning in a bottle with young Priya Rose Brookwell. She had some big names to share the screen with. What was it like directing her?
mate. Like honestly, she was a dream. Like Priya is a dream, and I treated her. I used to talk to her the same way I would talk to Nick and Golda. Like I didn't like I never changed in any way like that. Like she was just a pro, and like she was so good. It was like it was genuinely you sit there and I'd talk to her, and then I'd walk away and go, I've just spoken to like a 9-year-old the way I'd speak to like an adult.
Yeah.
Like I'll need to like calm, look, watch what I'm doing, and then I'd look in the monitor and I can't find her anywhere, and I'm like, where is she? And I look down and she's digging in the dirt with a stick. And you're like, yeah, of course she's 9. And then what you would do is you would like call first positions, and she would get up, she'd go to her first position and see the stick, she'd put it down and use it as her mark.
Oh
Like,
wow.
like she's just like you're jumbling between like this kid who just takes everything on and is also just a kid. And like Nick and Golda were just brilliant with her. Like she loved Nick for the improv and started like her own, like riffing off of that and growing with that. And like Golda was just like her idol. So,
Mm.
and they two were incredible, like incredible. Like as in, they never went to their trailers. They just wanted to be on set. They just wanted to be around the crew. They just wanted to have a laugh. They just wanted to have fun the whole time. And it kind of set the tone. Like the kid that comes in and just rocks it,
Mm.
like the two stars that are just so cool, so easy going that like everybody that came onto that set just had a ball. We had a blast. Like
This,
honestly, it was a laugh every day at work.
you know, on top of that, special shout out for casting Joe Wilkinson, who's surely one of the funniest men on the planet. And you've got Alan Carr in there, and you've got Jane Horrocks in there. So I'm hoping it was a blast to make. These people aren't horrible, are they?
No, no, absolutely not. Like I had that fear about getting in, and like have an ego and having to work around things. No, honestly, every single one of them just wanted to come in and play. Like I grew up watching Blackadder, and I'm directing like Lieutenant Darling. It's like it was an absolute dream come true.
Yeah.
Um, And as I said, and they were all just wonderful people. They just, and as I say, they just wanted to come in, play, have fun, and make a good movie.
Is it a I'm going a bit off script here, but it's just struck me that a lot of these big name British actors do enjoy working in the family movie space. Is that the panto sort of tradition? Because it's very we have very few sort of family made films here in Australia. Having said that, a little film called Kangaroo was a big hit recently, but no big stars joined it to be part of it. There seems to be something about the British acting tradition where they enjoy this sort of acting younger, being in these sort of sweeter films.
I think there's like, there is a place for it because like Jane always wanted, she's like, I've never got to play a mad aristocrat. Like I've never got to do that. And like, the same with Tim, he was like, I was, he was being a drunk Prince Philip, like it's like they just were looking forward to doing that, and it's like as I say, these actors I had assumed that they'd probably have done this kind of stuff a million times before, were just kind of like so up for it. But you're right, like in the UK we do have that sort of tradition of like panto and sort of things. Um, but we've kind of we like our film characters to be a little bit more reserved. Like what was really good about making this film with like it was American producers and American finances as well as like British producers and British finance. So I had this push and pull with the comedy.
Mm.
Like when I shot it, I would always sort of try and do like like the way we blocked it, and then either crank it up or dial it back, so
Ah,
that in the edit I had that ability to just to shift it here and there.
yep.
And that allowed me when once I got into the edit and I had to worry about, not say worry, but the people wanted to see it bigger or they wanted to see it that, and watch that flow. And it just, as I say, it really helped me, as I say, sort of helped shape the comedy.
I found it very affecting the building a bridge sort of emotional component of the film. Charlie is so alone at the start, even when she finds her family with her aunt. It's very strange, yet connections are made, and that can be very tough to pull off in this kind of, I use the term magical realism sort of setting. So the fantasy element, the grounded, more emotional element, it's a good balance, but a tough one to get right.
Like to be fair, I was always trying to be like cautious, like with things like and just making sure like there was a lot of things to hit the hot audience over the head with at the beginning. I was like trying to just hint at the magical ability just so that I wasn't like hoodwinking folk and saying 20 minutes in, oh, by the way, she can know how plants feel. Like there's a balance in that as well as trying to get the audience to understand the character and and go on this sort of journey. And I feel like if I'm upfront and honest and kind of like at least hint at it at the beginning
Mm.
and sort of like drip feed it through, that it's the audiences will believe it when she sort of starts to put things together herself, and they'll go on that sort of journey with her, like
Mm.
and believe it, and rather than sort of, as I say, try to ram loads of things down people's throats.
Yeah, of
And
course, yeah.
again, it's kids and adults. Adults are going to get it quicker than kids are, but again, you're trying to, as I say, balance that without, as I say, aye, too much expo, like at the
Of course,
beginning,
yeah.
or stop and
Um,
tell you everything.
you don't heavy hand the environmental message at all, but plants as living, feeling entities and the organic versus chemical farming method means the film takes a bit of a stance. If that's an audience member's takeaway as well, is that a bonus?
Yeah, like again, that's something else I didn't want to ram down people's throats.
Sure.
Like climate change, eco, like anything like that. Like first and foremost, like people are here to go on a journey and go on like an adventure. They don't want to be reminded of the bad stuff that's happening outside the theater or the
Yeah.
things that they're leaving their kids with. Do you know what I mean? Like to
Yeah.
really heavy-handedly be that. But kids are smart. People are smart. They know what this film's about. There's an eco message in here. And it is just for kids to just imagine, imagine that plants have feelings and that there is a living, breathing organisms that that grow out of the ground. Like that's kind of like something to take away from it. I mean, it's not Toy Story, but like when I grew up watching Toy Story, like I believe that inanimate objects have like reality now. Like, don't say you haven't thought about it,
Oh
man.
no,
Like
we've
we have,
thought about it. Yeah.
we've thought about it. So like, and having that little bit of magic to let the kids make it up for themselves and have that for themselves, then great. Yeah.
I'm loath to mention this because I don't want to spoil the enjoyment of when they pop up on screen. And this one's definitely for the grown-ups. You have some very specific film geek jokes in the film that I did not
Yeah.
expect and which had me giggling. Um, and they're probably lost on. I'm gonna spoil one. There's a great Psycho send up, but there's the other one, and I'm not going to spoil that. How did they come about? And I'll let you talk to them, but yes, the other one I laughed and laughed.
Like so they were in the script and like, but I'm such a fan. I'm such a big horror fan, you know, and the
Yeah.
thought of being able to play into some of these, and well, obviously one's not a horror, but oh, because like it's frightened kids. It really it frightens kids. I done test screenings and stuff, and like the thing that they didn't like was the thing in the bed, right? They were
Ah,
like, oh, that, like, oh. But parents are laughing because they see it, they get it right
yep.
away, and I shot I shot that shot for shot. Like there's a much longer version where it's right at the bottom of the bed and it's pushing in, like takes forever
Ah,
to get there. Like we properly milked it as well, and they made me trim it down in the edit.
oh, it was very funny.
But yeah, being a fan of Anna and the Apocalypse, I don't know if you've seen my nod. There's a moment with a kid and she's walking, she's protecting the pumpkin, and she's holding something that's wrapped in sort of.
Oh, of course, I got it. It's been a couple of years since I've seen Anna, but yes, I absolutely recall it. Yeah, no, that's great. It's so
Yeah,
just
it was a hockey stick, you know, like initially that was the initial plan behind Anna was that she played field hockey and there was
yep.
like a bit to it. That's why there's like, yeah.
Nice
So,
job.
so yeah,
Nice job.
good
I want
man.
to talk. I want to talk about the art direction and the production design and creating the rural look and the general sort of ambience of Mugford. It's an absolute triumph. It's such a gorgeous film to look at. What was the mood board like for this film? Were there inspirations, other films or books that you drew upon? Being a film buff, I guess they're all swirling around in your head.
Yeah, I totally, and so's my designer, like Jamie Lapsley. She just loves movies, and like we spent ages just talking about movies we loved and things we liked, and like there's like lots of like the JX8 sits in that big container, but the bottom thing that it sits on was like it's so Star Wars, it's unbelievable. But it's like, you know, it's things like that where we're like trying to put in little things here and there that's our love. We love The Simpsons. Like we all absolutely love The Simpsons, and there's so many Simpsons references all strewn through the film. Like even the statue is like Jebediah Springfield, and you know,
Sure. Yes.
like there's these wee silly things in there that we were just like as I say, try to pepper it all over. And see the amount of pumpkin drawings, because like the JX8, like we modeled that off a bodybuilder's back. You know, it's like muscles on muscles, and like as if it's jacked. Like,
Yeah.
like you know, yeah. So it's just really mad, silly things like that. But like we really did pour over like so much like design and ideas for the pumpkin, idea for the town, and yeah.
It looks
Um,
beautiful, and it's great that the just the buoyant sense of cinema and the buoyant sense of joy that comes through with this film is quite the achievement, mate. Finally, I want to say, are you copping any grief from Morton, Illinois, which is home to a processing plant that produces 85% of the world's canned pumpkin? And I've done my research; they were officially named way back in 1978 as the pumpkin capital of the world. Is it with lawyers, and can you comment?
I like to be fair, nobody's said anything about it, and like you know, like I don't think you can actually say any town in the UK is the like a pumpkin capital. Like there's more chance it's turnip capital, but you know, it's like I kind of like the fact that you know like we're not known for pumpkins at all. So the fact of that like there's this town that is obsessed with it just feels so back like mad here. It just seems
Sure.
mad here, you know. Yeah.
Mate, you've made a wonderful film. It's in Australian cinemas January 15. Good luck with its rollout in this country. I think it's going to be adored by local audiences. So thank you, John McPhail, and congrats on a great film.
Oh no, thanks, Simon. No, genuinely, like I really appreciate this. This is class. Thank you.